Okay, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mangg. Welcome back to Hanging with Mangg, episode 316. I think if I had known when I started Hanging with Mangg that it was going to get up to 316, I probably would have just done, like, the date instead of an episode number, because it's getting a little ridiculous. But, regardless, it is episode 316. And I didn't know what to play today for Hanging with Mangg. I mean, usually, of course, I tend to play whatever it is that I'm currently playing at the time during the week or whatever. But to be honest, I really haven't been playing much. I've been busy doing a lot of work for the Exploring series. And I've also been really busy learning Japanese. That's still going pretty strong. So the only thing that I've really been playing is Skyrim, because I've been recording this Skyrim playthrough. And then also Star Wars Squadrons, I've been recording that as well. That's pretty much it. So I figured, all right, we'll just do Super Castlevania 4 because it's a very October game, isn't it? It's very thematic, very atmospheric. And eventually you'll see my actual Let's Play of this game, but oh well. So yeah, the Japanese is going pretty well, as I said. It's really crazy. It's really crazy to be able to just look at like a jumble of symbols and to know that it corresponds to a word and be able to read and understand it. Like it's pretty wild. I didn't really feel that way when I was learning like French or German, because it was it was still in Roman alphabet. It wasn't as wild of a concept. So far, I've got hiragana all memorized and good, so that's fine. I'm working my way through katakana now, which is a lot easier because it's all pretty much corresponds to the same sounds, so that's not as tricky. Haven't really touched kanji yet. We're saving that. And just, yeah, at this point, trying to get the vocab up. Trying to get grammatical rules down. I'm partially using Duolingo just because it's like my old standby. It's decent. Then I've got Japanese from Zero, the big workbook to work through. It is really pretty solid. I'm enjoying that, and I've been watching the videos that he puts out, where you sort of follow along with the videos, along with the lessons in the workbook. He seems like a decent guy, and it's been pretty. That's so far been the most educational, I would say, is the Japanese from Zero stuff. But then to supplement all that, I've got just a shit ton of flashcards. That's mostly how I got the hiragana down. That's how I'm mostly learning katakana. And I've been making my own flashcards for pretty much every like new word I encounter gets put on a flashcard. So yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the process. Someday you might see a Let's Play in Japanese. Be cool when I'm in Japan to pick up like a Super Famicom or something. Pick up some maybe Japanese only games. Games that I'm sure you could get translated ROMs for or something, but it'd be cool to be able to play it in the OG. Something like Bahamut Lagoon or something. I don't know. So that's that. Anyways. This week on this channel, we had Star Wars Squadrons. I think that could end this week. I don't think it's a super long single player. But that's fine. We got plenty of other things to do. We had Dragon Quest IV. I don't know if that'll actually finish this week. If it will, it's going to be like next Saturday or Sunday. You know, we're getting into these longer RPGs now with the Dragon Quest series. They're not all 4 videos long. And on Wednesday, I did Mangg's Variety Stream. We did Doki Doki Literature Club, which we will be continuing this coming Wednesday and hopefully finishing. And hopefully getting pretty weird. That's my hope. We also had two brothers play Ultima, Final Fantasy IV Ultima. I don't know what happened yesterday while we were streaming. The internet just crapped the hell out. And it's not like we didn't notice. I mean, we noticed that it was shit partway through, but it was sort of like, I mean, what are our options here? You know, we only get together for a few hours once a week. I didn't want to just put a stop to that just because of the stream messing up. I'd rather just play, because not many people are watching that series anyways, I feel. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think you only missed about an hour, and it was really just like one... Really, it was just like 2 bosses, I think, that we struggled with quite a bit. We did end up finishing the underground section of the game. So we both got above ground, we both got the hook for the airship, and we're ready to do the Tower of Babel. We're still synced up after two sessions, so that's pretty good. That will continue. My concern is we'll get to a point where it's just we need to grind in order to just do anything. But I think the plan is we're going to do one more session on stream. And then I think sometime during the week he's going to come over and we're just going to like grind for an hour or so. Just to be, you know, to stay competitive. So that's good. Yeah, so once Star Wars finishes, I'm going to start uploading the Skyrim playthrough, the living Skyrim playthrough that I have recorded. And aside from that, once Dragon Quest ends, I'm not sure. You know, we didn't really have any sort of horror Let's Play. We did Doki Doki Literature Club. That's going to finish, so that'll be technically a playthrough. But there wasn't much, I don't know. You know, there wasn't like some big new hot single-player horror game, aside from Resident Evil 3. And now it feels like it's too late. It's too late to start. I mean, maybe I'll look up like a shorter horror game if there's like a good 2 to 3 hour horror game that I could just do a few videos for as like a playthrough. That might be okay. But I can't do like a 15 part Let's Play. It would just run too long into November, where we're going to be playing like Cyberpunk or something. The big new game that a lot of people are talking about is this game called Genshin Impact, which is sort of a Breath of the Wild clone, but I don't want to say better. I'm not going to say better. I haven't even played it. But based on one article I read, it was like, it's like Breath of the Wild, but with way more like RPG elements and customization and stuff, and like character progression, which is right up my alley. So honestly, that sounds really good. It's like Breath of the Wild with no durability and character progression. That sounds really fun. So I've not played it yet, but I think after Doki Doki Literature Club, so the following Wednesday, I think we'll try that out for a variety stream. It doesn't seem like something I'd want to do like a playthrough of. It's just, you know, one of those big open world games. But we should give it a try. It's free to play. So it's sort of pay to win, but it's like single player, so I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's the status of things over on this channel. Over on the Exploring series, I released a video about Herman Fuller's Circus, which was decent. I think it was decently received. Can't complain too much. Then I released a video on Jonestown, which really got a pretty absurd number of comments, all things considered. How do you... Oh, is it R? Oh, it's R in this one, yeah. Got a lot of comments. A lot of anti-communist comments. Which is not, I mean, whatever. People can comment whatever they want. But it inspired just a lot of comments. Which I'm sure it inspired a lot of comments back when it happened. And comments are good for the algorithm, so I'm not going to complain about people doing a lot of commenting. Obviously, it's not blowing up my charts or anything at this point, but neither did the Zodiac Killer. And my video on the Zodiac Killer later on, suddenly YouTube was like, all right, this seems good. And they started promoting it a hell of a lot, and it got a hell of a lot of video views. So maybe that'll happen with Jonestown. I didn't think much of my Zodiac video either, because I was like, plenty of people have made like full documentaries about the Zodiac Killer. What is my little video? But people seem to like it. So, yeah, you know. Then I worked on a video for SCP about pataphysics. Very, very interesting concept, I suppose. I don't know how well I actually end up explaining pataphysics throughout the video, but there's some fun, interesting SCPs in there that I would really never... They're not long enough to get their own videos, so... You know, it's just another thing. It's like aquatic SCPs. It's just like, here's a theme and some SCPs that are all lumped into that theme. The theme for this one is pataphysics. Whether or not you really understand what pataphysics is doesn't matter that much for understanding the SCPs. So, pataphysics is a lot harder to put imagery with compared to aquatic SCPs. So, at first I was like, all right, well, I'll just pick another random, like, theme, like beaches. And I'll just use a bunch of images of beaches. But then I was like, well, if I'm just gonna use nonsense that doesn't correlate at all, I might as well use some like awesome kick-ass art that people can enjoy rather than just fucking beaches over and over. So yeah, I went and grabbed a bunch more images that I thought were awesome, and then I went back through my folder of SCP images that I've used over the years. And I just went through and I looked at all these like awesome images that maybe were like super specific, and I only used them like once or twice throughout all these videos. And I was like, well, let's bust them out again. This is a perfect excuse. So I think probably the pataphysics video has the best artwork of any video I've done, just because it's all just good. There's no like generic stuff in there of just like, here's a picture of, I don't know, a mine shaft because it's relevant to what I'm talking about. Like, no, here's a picture of a fucking dragon scorching the planet because it's cool. It's just something to look at. So that should be fine. And then originally I was like, okay, October's coming up. I'm gonna do 4 special videos. And a couple of them will be like actual videos, and a couple of them will be reading videos. So it's not an insane amount of work. Then I realized that this October, technically I would have 5 weeks, because October 1st fell on a Thursday. So I could release a video like on the 1st. I was like, well, shit. I don't really want to release 5 videos. That's 5 extra videos. That's a lot of work. So I guess I'll just take a break in the middle of October and only do the 1 video that week. Which is probably reasonable. I don't think that's insane. But then I was like, well, October's a really special month. I should do something that week. So I was like, well, I guess I could do a live Q&A that week of October, which would be this coming week. And that was the plan for a while. I was like, I'll just do a live Q&A. People will like that. Then I rewatched one of the mockumentaries they made for the Blair Witch Project called Curse of the Blair Witch. And if you have never seen the mockumentaries that they put together throughout the years for the Blair Witch stuff, it's like better than the movies. I mean, those mockumentaries are awesome, where they basically tell like the history of the Blair Witch and like the lore behind the Blair Witch, but they present it as if it were a real documentary, and it's awesome. So I rewatched that just on a whim, and I was like, okay, this is great, this is good. And I was doing some like Googling, as I tend to do when I watch anything. And I saw that this company that sends out like subscription mystery boxes. So you sign up for a subscription, and they send you basically like a mystery game filled with like documents and things like that, and you solve a mystery over a few months. It's called Hunt a Killer. I've heard of it before, but I had Chronicles of Crime that I still have not finished playing, so I was like, not gonna get into that. But I saw that they were putting out one about the Blair Witch, and I was like, well, I do love the Blair Witch mythology. I should get in on this. Really, they should just send me a free fucking copy, because I would gladly promote it, but whatever. I think if I was the type of person that, like, emailed people about that sort of thing, I'd probably get a lot more free stuff, but I'm not that kind of person. So I paid the money like a normal citizen, and I'm still waiting on it. The shipping takes forever, but I'm very excited. I will be playing it on camera for you guys, so we can go through that together. And I was like, oh man, Blair Witch. Yeah, Blair Witch is sweet. Fuck. So then that led me to rewatching some other Blair Witch stuff. Basically everything. And then I was like, I should make a video about the Blair Witch mythology. About the lore of the Blair Witch. Because I think a lot of people don't really know it. They know, like, the Blair Witch Project. And they either like it, or they make fun of it, or whatever. But the actual lore around the Blair Witch that they created for the movie is pretty cool. So then I was like, well, I've got an extra week here in October. This would be the time to do it. I should make a video about the Blair Witch mythology. It's a lot of work. I mean, everything's a lot of work. Nothing I do is like 1 hour of work or anything, you know, it's all just a project. And I guess, you know, it's my job, but a lot of these things, these side things that I do, don't make really much money. If I only cared about money, all I would do is SCP stuff. If I only cared about money, probably every week I would put out like an SCP reading video. Because those tend to make almost as much as my normal videos for a significantly less amount of work. Like, reading is easy. The only tricky thing with reading is finding all the artwork. But even for reading videos, I tend to do less. So it surprises me, like, not to throw shade or anything, but like the Vulcan, he only puts out a video like every 3 weeks or every month. And all he does is the reading. I mean, he puts some work into it. Obviously, I mean, he does different voice, he does audio effects. He'll usually do some like 3D modeling for it. But still, it's kind of surprising that he doesn't put out stuff more often. So anyways, I posted on Twitter. I was like, is anyone even interested in the fucking Blair Witch? Or am I just completely wasting my time? But I got a lot of responses on Twitter that people were indeed interested in the Blair Witch. So the interest is still alive and well, which is good. I mean, I'm sure I would do it no matter what at some point. But if people are interested and I've got the inspiration right now, we might as well go for it. So that's what I'll be working on to release this coming week. It won't be completely exhaustive. I have not consumed every piece of Blair Witch media. There's a few PC games that I have not played. and frankly, I don't really want to play because from what I understand, they really don't expand the lore almost whatsoever, and they seem pretty shitty. They were just sort of slopped together like a year after the Blair Witch Project came out, and there were 3 of them, and it's kind of ridiculous. There's some books that I've not read, but I am familiar with most of the lore, and the rest of it is available. People have compiled the rest of it, so it should be decent. It should be a decent compilation. And yeah, I think people will be interested because it's like the second film, Book of Shadows, which I don't really care for. I mean, slightly it was sort of butchered by the film company, the film executives and stuff, as is usual. But it's just not well acted, or you know, I mean, there's just, or it's not, the dialogue is not, you know, it's not a great horror film, even divorcing it from the Blair Witch concept. But they put together a mockumentary about it, called like the Burkittsville 7 or something like that. No, not the Burkittsville. Fuck, Shadow of the Blair Witch or something like that. They put together a mockumentary about it, and explaining that that film is a dramatization of the actual events that occurred. And that was far more interesting. And that was like, okay, I can basically ignore that film as canon because it was just like deliberately put together. It's like based on true events. It's not, obviously, but within the film, within the Blair Witch universe, it's based on true events. And the mockumentary goes into the actual, like, real events as far as the Blair Witch universe is concerned. The Burkittsville 7 is also really cool, which goes into much greater depth about, like, the 8 kids that Rustin Parr kidnapped in the 40s, and then goes into the one kid that survived and, like, how he might have been, like, involved because he survived and he was the one that, like, made to stand in the corner. I mean, I'll go into it all in the video, I guess. So yeah, that's that. I'm hoping the Hunt a Killer thing is really cool. We'll be going through that together at least the first month. I don't know how many months this involves. If it's 6 months or something. I don't know how long they can draw out a mystery, but it seems pretty cool. Like, they have a character from the mystery, like, email you and is, like, communicating with you outside of, like, the box itself. And it's, like, within the story perspective, she's the one that sent you this box full of documents to help you find her missing son or something like that. So it's pretty cool so far. I haven't even gotten the box. That's what's happening there. That's what's happening there with all that. Fuck, man. Yeah. As far as board games are concerned, I know I haven't really talked much about that in the last few months. In the last year. Usually every October we do a spooky board game night where we play a few select spooky board games, but due to coronavirus, that will not be happening. And I think we might be doing something on Tabletop Simulator. Maybe next Monday. Play Fury of Dracula. So I'll probably end up streaming that or something. And then, yeah, I mean, I'd love to get back to RPGs, but pandemic, man. Once we do get back to RPGs, it should be pretty damn exciting. It should be a big event. Very cool. The only thing that is on the schedule right now is right before Thanksgiving, we're heading up to a cabin together. Presumably, unless there's some outbreak among my group of friends, which could certainly happen. And there we usually do an RPG one-shot. So that'll be nice. But yeah, other than that, just same old, same old. Shit. I guess that's all there is to really say. Yeah, so check out the pataphysics video. Check out Blair Witch video if you're interested at all in that. Even if you didn't like Blair Witch Project or something like that, you might still like the lore. Even if you made fun of Heather crying in front of the camera and all that, you might still like the cool lore behind the Blair Witch. We've got more Star Wars Squadrons, more Dragon Quest IV, the rest of Doki Doki Literature Club on Wednesday, and some more Two Brothers Play Final Fantasy IV Ultima next Saturday. Plenty of stuff going on. I'm always busy, so it's good to stay busy during a pandemic. There's nothing wrong with that. But for now, my name is Mangg. This has been Hanging with Mangg. I'll see you fine folks next week.